Hi, my name's Payne McMillan, and today we're going to be talking about non-chemical Varroa mite control. So who am I? I'm Payne McMillan. I'm a third-year entomology major and a graduating senior, and I have a passion for integrated pest management and non-chemical control of pest populations. So let's talk about Varroa mite damage. Greater than 2 mites per 100 bees is considered a dangerous amount per colony for most year/season situations, according to the Honeybee Health Coalition. The issue is that the mites feed on the bees' fat storage, causing them to have lower immune strength and are unable to fight off other illnesses that affect their colonies or the tedious environments of cold winters. Let's talk about our first non-chemical Varroa mite control method, that being drone brood removal. It's a process that helps prevent future generations of mites to develop. Well, how does it do it? You add drone brood frames, which allow for the mites to lay their eggs on the drone brood. Mites are more attracted to these drone broods because they're capped for longer, allowing more developed mites to emerge that are stronger. So mites usually will lay on these drone broods. The way that you act out this control is by removing said drone brood frames before they emerge and freezing them, effectively killing the drone brood, but also killing all the mites that had been laid on there. So what are some pros and cons? Well, the pros is that it gets rid of the mites, it's money efficient, and it has less of an invasive impact on the hive than other treatments. Think about pesticides, how it can negatively affect bees' health conditions. Some of its cons is that it's time consuming. You have to have the right timing to make sure that you get out the brood while it's capped, because any wrong date and time of that, if the mites were and the drones were to emerge, then the populations of mites just became significantly boosted with these highly developed mites coming out of the brood frames. And the other thing that's not really thought about is the excessive use of this method can hinder honey production, because the bees will be, of course, supporting multiple generations of drone brood, which can take away from the honey storage in total. So our second one that we're talking about today is requeening. It utilizes a queen or a hive that has shown significant hygienic qualities or mite reducing mechanisms. So any hive that is actively having a lower mite population without uses of mite treatments. So what is done is that queens are rendered from those hives and added into either a queenless hive or a hive that has a properly disposed queen, and then queen introduction steps are followed, so a 72-hour introduction period, and then getting that queen situated into laying eggs for your hive. So pros and cons. The pros are that the new queen properly shows slow mite population growth, meaning that mite generations are slowed down, meaning that you won't have to spray as often or use pesticides to control mite populations. Cons is that if your queens are overly hygienic, it can hinder the colony's growth, meaning that you won't be getting enough resources or things like that because they're so focused on keeping the mite population low, and like it's actively becoming a hindrance for things like foraging. So other cons are that requeening is never 100% guarantee. There are always things that can go wrong. Number one beekeeping rule is don't kill the queen, and we are actively doing that here. So it can harm if not done properly. And also buying and rearing new queens can be an expensive and or time lengthy process. And also those new queens have to be mite resistant. So final thoughts. Neither of these methods are perfect by any means, but both have major benefits when it's used as a preventative methods to control Varroa population. So before massive outbreaks of Varroa mites, that's when you want to use these two methods as preventative measures. So both methods also lower the use of pesticides in future. This can also be a cost-efficient practice, as you're no longer using all that money on expensive pesticides. Instead of you're using inexpensive beekeeping measures. Thank you guys. Here are the references I used. I hope you guys got a little bit more knowledge on some non-chemical treatment methods that we kind of just skimmed over in class. Thanks.